All right, Shalom, Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today I just want to title this lesson, America's destruction is nigh at hand. And this is biblical prophecy. We're seeing it playing out in real time. The Lord, His intent and purposes in His lifetime is to violently overthrow this place, this wicked kingdom, America, which is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. And it don't have to say America. The characteristics, the how Babylon is explained, it points to this place, man. But now we at the latter end of Babylon the Great. What the scriptures speak on the fate of it, which is ultimately war. This is how the whore will be brought down. And it's becoming more and more clear, that is the case. America, her allies was going to turn on her. So everything is now coming together, man. As Chris speak of, those that's walking in the light, that path will shine brighter and brighter. It's going to get clearer and clearer, man. So I got this article from Fox News, and it reads, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says old relationship with the U.S. is over amid tension over Trump tariffs. So as you can see, the Lord is really stirring up the kings of the earth. Had Trump to get back into office to keep the division, man. From, of course, within America. But now it has extended to the allies. Certain things Trump have done, these other nations have kind of looked at him, sideways, man. For an example, when he elbowed his way into the front of that summit, so he can be be in the front. And then this is another example right here. These different tariffs, and he's burning bridges, but that's really Yahweh Shema Shai setting up this scene. Matter of fact, let's get it real quick in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. See, it's making more and more sense, And this is concerning the fate of the whore, which is America, Babylon the Great. It says, Revelation 17 and 16, it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. And that's really concerning the allies, man. You got the EU and the NATO nations. They're going to turn on this whore, man. Because now they see every time this bitch got her hand in something, it never go well for them. It's always something where ultimately America fuck it up for somebody else. They benefit from, America will benefit. If they don't, you can't, shit like that. So now ultimately these nations are fed up. So it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. See? So we seeing this playing out. It's unfolding, man. As you have the prime, let's say the prime minister. The prime minister coming out and saying that, pretty much saying he's going to, the relationship are over. He's going to sever ties concerning because of the tariffs. You had another account with the that pipeline being destroyed, you know, and that Russian pipeline, which it was actually feeding the allies of America, and it was destroyed, man. Motherfucker, first thing they looked at America. You know, these problems. Who's there? That bitch America, man. So we see why this scripture is making more and more sense, that they shall hate the whore. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See? And what is that talking about? That's really concerning this world war. World War III. That's the fate of this place. You know? And as you can see, it's pretty much the allies is going to turn on. Of course, these devils, they look at Russia, China, North Korea. Matter of fact, I do got an article on that concerning North Korea. And think that, the big three, Iran, you know what I mean? They looking at them, not knowing that ultimately, really, America is really surrounded. America, Babylon the Great, is really surrounded, man. You know? So, matter of fact, let's get this article concerning North Korea. This is, when you go into like these different nuclear simulations, where these bombs are being dropped, it always New York City, somewhere in America to be forth the standard of the impact it will have. Because ultimately, this is the place where those missiles gonna hit, man. So this is from Newsweek.com, and it reads, nuclear arm North Korea threatens U.S. with overwhelming response. So you got these threats, pretty much just a death threat, man. That's why I start out by the way of nuclear arm. See, that's what it's all about, hitting that button. And we know that we're coming closer to that time because that chip is on the scene, which is the mark. This digital system that's coming about, all this is about to be summed up. This time period that we're in, this system. And this is the icing on the cake, that destruction in World War III. Let's see, it says North Korea has condemned the joint exercise held last week by the U.S., Japanese, and South Korean navies, the first trilateral drills of the second Trump administration. It says state media warned that any further provocations will be met with an overwhelming response from Pyongyang. So as you can see, we in a time of war. You got America, and you know that Japan, South Korea, are pretty much in league with America. Yeah, at the end of the day, that whore is going to be left alone when that time comes. But you can see that North Korea is sending forth threats, and not just sending sanction. No, sending missiles, man. And going back, this is the fate of America. This is the fate of Babylon the Great. It's in the scriptures. It's really throughout the scriptures. The Lord really constantly bring it up. And it can be shown forth through another system. When the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, that was an example of how the Lord was going to destroy America. When Babylon was swiftly taken in the night, that's what's going to happen to this place. Because this time period we in now is known as the night. And this man will be taken swiftly, because the scripture speaks of how the destruction, is going to take 1 hour for this man to be uprooted. So these kingdoms that have came and went, it was an example within it to show you how the Lord is going to deal with this place. So matter of fact, let's see. Bear with me. I think it's 50. This is okay, God. Yep. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 14. It reads, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow." So that's all those that have nuclear capability. Because within the scriptures, it will say arrow, but that's the modern term would be missile. This scripture is not stuck in the past. This is not something that was meant to be read thousands of years. It was something that happened thousands of years. No, this was something concerning the future. So those that bend the bow, those that have nuclear capability, and they even have that term, these nuclear countries, as they say it, nuclear power countries. The article said nuclear armed North Korea. So that's an actual stat, concerning these countries and those that possess nuclear capability. Well, this decree goes out to them. Those who got those missiles. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord. See? So the target is America. Babylon the Great. And it said, shoot at her, spare no arrows. So them missiles was not made in vain. They're not going into a museum in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be used in this lifetime. Oh, when you read Joel, the 2nd chapter, it talks about how ultimately there had not ever been a light, neither after shall any more be after it. Because ultimately, that weapon of mass destruction, as they call it, was set up for this moment. Because it talks about how the not going to be swords. It's not going to be war in the kingdom of heaven. When that new system is put in play on the earth, it's going to go by the law, statutes, and commandments, man. There won't be no reason for war. You putting in a budget, you got a military budget, you melting more iron and shit for making tanks and nukes. No. It was all set up for this moment right here. It says, shout out against her round about. And as you can see, she's pretty much surrounded, man. Her foundations are falling. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she had done, do unto her. And scripture said her walls have fallen down. That's going into those defense systems. And as you can see, the Lord is sending forth a decree to do this. Take vengeance upon her, meaning shoot those arrows. And that's the Lord going to put the spirit on the nation to do it, man. It's happening now. Everything is coming together. This horde ultimately will be overthrown. That's the fate of Babylon the Great, man. That's the fate of America. And we seeing it. It's getting clearer and clearer. We seeing a shift. Everybody looking at America like it sees the problem. And ultimately, the solvent is the destruction, man. So matter of fact, I'm ending off on this. in the book of 2 Ezra 4, in verse 28, it reads, "But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come." So that evil sown was America. This place was planted, cultivated, was built up to be this superpower, and now it's really its fate is destruction. Oh, going back to Revelation 17. Matter of fact, let's read that. Revelation 17 talks about how this place was set up to be destroyed. Um, bear with me. This is it. Yep, this is Revelation 17, and I started verse 10. I just get to the point. Verse 10, it reads, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." So we know the pretty much the 7 is, you got Rome, uh, Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and Britain. So it said that one is that current kingdom right then was concerning that Roman Empire, and it said that one that is not yet come, that will continue a short space, is Britain. You know, they had a short run. It says, "In the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th," and that's concerning America, that came from Britain, and is of the 7th. See, and goeth into perdition. See, so this place was really built up to be destroyed, man. And now we at the climax of it. We at the height. Everything is pretty much made right. You got the LGBT. You got 3D printed meats. The chip, which is the mark. This digital system is coming about. Everything is here. The scene, this final scene, everything is really set up, man. But as you can see, the 8th, it go up into perdition, which is ultimately destruction, man. So that's the fate of this place. You see in the end, see, we ain't, you know, Lord set it up to where we didn't wake up during the time of the fabulous 50s. You know, this nigga had a chokehold on the earth. You know, this is the time that why I talks about better is the end of thing. We at the end, this man's run. So it's going back to 2 Corinthians 4 and 28. "But as concerned the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come." See? So that show you there is a destruction that's coming. Spirit. "If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good." So before the kingdom of heaven can be established, this place got to be destroyed. And we are nigh at hand concerning that event. All the pieces are being put in place. The allies are beginning to turn on the whore. These missiles are becoming more efficient. Everything is here. So yeah, I can just hold it with edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that's teaching word in all truth, faith, and sincerity.